Yeah, well, one of the biggest things about this particular circuit is the track evolution over the weekend in terms of the rubber going down is huge. And over the last couple of days, it's been getting faster and faster. Now, we've had the overnight rain, the track's now cleaned up a lot more, there'll be a lot less rubber, so it'll be interesting to see who adapts quickest.
I've always wondered that, how much does it take away rain? Because, I mean, you've got rubber and it's kind of like almost ingrained in there because it's hot rubber going down. Does it actually wash away the grip?
You can actually see first practice when you go out that the track is just the normal grey, and it's very dirty, low grip, it's slippery with all the buses and the taxis and the cars that go around during the normal daytime, and of course back on at night time. And then you turn up the next day for your qualifying session, immediately you notice there's a lot more black rubber in all the braking zones.
Here's the grid then. Mortara on the front row as they lock out Audi this first row, Bamber and Engel on the second row. Maro Engel trying to defend his title, and Earl Bamber looking for victory here after disappointment last year. The surprise perhaps, Nico Muller coming in last moment. Kevin Estre likewise, the Frenchman, in 6th place. Porsche looking good and looking for revenge somewhat against the Mercedes. Renger van der Zande in the Mercedes. It's a brand new Mercedes AMG, remember. Nicky Katzberg bringing the BMW into the fold in 8th position. That's row 4. Adley Fong had a prang in the Bentley early on in the weekend, but he's up there in 9th position. Chen Kong Fu, love the name, love the race. It's 10th position for him in the Audi. What can he do, Chinese driver? Row 6, Fabian Plentz of Germany, also in the R8. And Mirko Bortolotti of Italy in the Lamborghini Huracan. One surprise of the manufacturers is that the Lamborghini has not been as competitive as they may have hoped. Yoshimoto of Japan and Marchi Lee, who we've just been talking about, in 14th position. Let's see if Marchi, who also has bags of experience around this Macau circuit, can come forward. Talking of experience, look at Andre Couto, way down in 16th position. Passin Latoris, one of the few Ferraris in this field. Surprised to see less, more. I would expect to see more 488s, but there is just Passin really in terms of competitiveness, and he's down in 15th position. On the warm-up lap, Ricky Capo joins his first time here at Macau in the BMW in 17th position, the Aussie. Daryl O'Young, who we talked of earlier, the Hong Kong driver and former World Touring Car ace and Porsche Carrera Cup champion multiple times, is 18th position on the grid in the number 99. BLT sponsored number 99 from Hong Kong. Big grid, as always, for the World Cup. And it's grown in prestige, has this event over the years. Philip Marr, who's been racing here since the early 90s. He'll be in a Porsche. He's driven Ferraris, Porsches, you name it around here. Likewise, another one of the stalwarts of Macau, John Shen, in a Porsche. Tommy Tillou just behind him, and that gives you the rundown of what we've got as they head down Donna Maria, warming the tyres. Tell us what you do, Danny, at this stage of the race, getting ready to go racing.
Yeah, so the drivers now just, you see them sometimes weaving around, trying to create some heat into the tyres. Another good way of doing that. Look how dirty Melko hairpin is.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff, if you will, down there.
And I noticed in the Solitude S's there's a lot of debris, there's a lot of leaves, so the track's definitely changed overnight with this rain that we've had. But Fisherman's Corner now, 2 corners to go. You can hear him accelerating and braking really aggressively. That last chance now, trying to get heat into the tyres before the start.
Well, of course, it's a rolling start, and that means you've got to be on it right from the start. Mercedes don't feel like they're quick in a straight line. The Audis are missiles. The Porsches, likewise. Watch Earl Bamber on the right-hand side on the second row, trying to come through. The Maserati comes off. We're about to go racing here at Macau in 2016. It's the World Cup for GTs. Audi lead the way. Porsche want the victory, but Mercedes want to defend their World Cup title. Out go the lights, away we go, and a great start from both the Porsches and the Mercedes. What a brilliant start. The Audis go line astern to try to defend the position. Good start from Bentley as well. Oh no! Right from the get-go, one of the Audis is out, spun right round at the first corner. And it's, would you believe it, Mr. Macau is out of the 2016 GT World Cup on the very first corner. Now Laurent Vanthoor has to save the flushes of Audi. Who caused that? We won't know. I saw that Mercedes and another car out, another Audi only out, it's the car number 15 that's out. Wow, what a dramatic start. Nico Müller, one of the favourites to finish on the podium. Now, I did see, boys, you chime in here, because I did see Mercedes and Earl Bamber get a very good start. Were they involved in that incident with Mortara, do you think?
I think what we need is the replay to work out exactly what happened. But that's a really big story. Goodness me.
That is such a shame. But I tell you what, it's not over. This is the qualifying race, remember. And Edo will be there, I'm sure, tomorrow, because he's not going anywhere in this one. He ripped the back wing off that car. And I just feel, I remember Matthew Marsh having a similar incident in a Porsche a few years ago. It's a rare corner. I remember Philip Peter back in the early 90s in Formula 3 hitting that corner too. It's one of the rare places to have a smash, but it can be possible, especially when everybody is going for the same piece of asphalt.
Laurent Vanteur it is that leads, and you were quite right, John. You said that the Porsche's got a very good start, didn't they, just? And now as we go up through the mountain section for the first time, coming up towards that dirty Melco hairpin, just about enough room for one of these big GT cars to turn around that very, very tight hairpin. But the Porsches did get an incredibly good start, didn't they?
Well, Laurent Vanteur was complaining in the press conference yesterday that his limelight had been stolen once again by Eduardo Mortara. Well, mate, the limelight is on you now, because you have got the rest of German manufacturing right behind you, and you've got to defend yourself. He comes into our bend, flat out, touches the slight inside corner there, but beautifully done. And Danny, as we catch our breath, this is really changing the complexion of this race. Vanteur, Bamber and Estra.
It is, and the Porsche's looking very, very strong in the early stage of this race. Adley Fong's had a great start up to 6th from 9th on the grid. But be interested to see if Eduardo Mortara got going again or whether he parked up. But let's not forget, this is only the qualification race. The big main race is tomorrow lunchtime.
Yeah, exactly. So don't count out Edo. He might do something miraculous. But wow, what a start. Nothing expected from that. And now can Mercedes, who were very quick in the mountain section, I may add, they know that their straight line speed is superb compared to the competition. But they'll hope, if they can, to try and make up in the mountain section. We call this the mountain section, starting here into hospital and into maternity. Already, Earl Bamber putting big pressure on, and another one. That's in fact, that's Müller again. That's a second smash for Nico Müller, who spun round at God. He's in all sorts of trouble there.
Exit
and that
turn
is
one.
again the same place that Mortara got in trouble. That's the pit exit, and Nico Müller has just mullered that car into the barriers. Oof. Wow.
Safety car then.
Yeah. Now, take a breath, everyone, wherever you're tuning in around the world. Here's how it stands. Laurent Vanteur leads for Audi. Earl Bamber for Porsche is in second. And then it's second and third, in fact, because Kevin Estra, the Frenchman, is right there with him in third. Maro Engel, the defending champion, is fourth. Then Renger van der Zand, his teammate, is in fifth. And Adley Fong is in sixth. And it was Adley Fong who got the best of starts, as you pointed out, in the Bentley. Brilliant start by him. And he's had a brilliant season, both here in Asia and in America. That was the moment. Müller mullered it. Oh, boy, did he get that wrong. I don't even know how you do that on your own.
That's an opening lap to forget, isn't it?
It's a corner that the Audi doesn't get on with, does it?
No, clearly. Not a good opening lap for Nico Müller. Walking away from a very, very second-hand looking car after that.
So, Danny, tell me what you think about when we have had so many safety cars. And actually, I always say, and I remember a restart with you particularly one year, is that the thinking man's game is all about what goes on in your head while this situation is on, because this is where it's make or break, isn't it, on a race? Yeah,
it's good news for the Mercedes. That means they will close up. It looked to me like they were just starting to drop away a little bit from the two Porsches in front of Earl Bamber and Kevin Estra. So the guys will have to keep heating to the tyres now. I think possibly the circuit looks to be a little slippier than what we've seen over the course of the weekend so far with the overnight rain. A lot of debris on circuit there.
Well, this is a race that started this way. Now look to your inside. Look, watch Bamber behind. Now,
We don't see what
So we don't
happens.
see it.
Actually, I'd love
We
to go
don't
on
see it.
board with Mortara to see that, because I was wondering whether he got tapped from behind, because it's not like Edo to be spun around like that on his own volition, as it were. And we didn't really get conclusive evidence, as it were, Your Honour.
I'd like to have a close-up look at the front of a couple of the cars as well.
Yeah. Bottom line is, there was 4 cars. The 2 Audis stretched themselves across the track, as they should and planned, I'm sure, to do, to hold back the onslaught from the start, because it is a rolling start, and you are a sitting duck somewhat in a rolling
Have I just seen Eduardo Mortara into pit lane? Certainly that's what it would suggest.
Well, that's actually good news.
Yeah, it's very, very good news.
Because if they can throw a rear wing on it, I mean, I'm being very...
Yes.
And they have.
Exactly right.
I said that flippantly.
Spot on.
But this is exactly what Macau is all about.
I've been following his progress. He was 22nd out of 22 cars, so it's a very, very slow lap, but he gets
Here's
back.
what Nico Muller did. Yeah, he got tapped, I think, from Renger van der Zand as they went into Lisboa. In fact, I'm almost certain of it. And he had another prang later. And here we go. This is Audi at work. And this is why this is such an important championship, because this is really where the work gets done. Look at him adjusting the wing and making sure this new wing will work.
I'm just wondering, because Nico Muller, when he got spun around by van der Zand, he actually made contact with the rear of the car. And I'm wondering if damage from that may have been a cause for his first turn accident.
Well, drama indeed, but that's what we expect from a World Cup final.
I'd like to look at that start about another 20 times.
I bet you Edo doesn't.
No.
You got to feel for Edo. He's had such great weekends here over the years, and this has not started the way he would have planned. And they were looking good, were both the Audis, and it's going to be harder for one Audi to take on the rest of the mic. But look how hard they're working. And Danny, at this point, what do you do? Do you just sit quietly, or do you sit and chat with your engineer about what you've just basically experienced?
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, only he knows what happens. We don't know the full ins and outs, but ultimately,
he may well, Danny, not know what happened.
It came out of nowhere. Well, we didn't see, did we? But he's going to be amazingly frustrated. He has been the man all throughout this weekend, and was probably one of the favourites. And really and truly, starting last tomorrow, it's going to be very, very difficult to come through the field and try and win.
Let's have one more look at this start. Here we go. On the right-hand side, watch Bamba. He's right behind. I think it's Bamba's I think he's taken a tap from... No, he hasn't. I was about to say I thought he took a tap from Bamba. I don't think he did. Well, so I'll tell you what might have happened. Edo would have naturally tried to go as wide as he could to the right, so that he didn't get caught on the inside.
He was lucky not to get collected there, but possibly also cold tyres, let's not forget. Lap one off the line.
That's a very good point, Danny. Well, again, not dramatically conclusive. I think the onboard will have to tell us the real story. But it is drama indeed. Either way, just so you know, 2 of the big favourites, Nico Muller, who you're looking at right now, who came into this race and is making his debut. Well, he certainly made a splash, that's for sure. 2 big incidents on his first lap, and that has brought out the safety car. If you've just tuned in, we have lost the favourite to win this race. Eduardo Mortara, who made history yesterday by being the first man under 217, and Danny is somebody who I know looks at the record books and really, like most of the drivers, really almost could say, well, how fast did you go around? Because that's really what counts here.
Well,
it's not a bad lap, is it?
I remember the first year we came here with the Macau GT Cup, and the times were 2:27s. So it's incredible how far these GT cars have come in terms of technology and speed.
Absolutely amazing. I'm still gobsmacked that it's befallen Edo out of this race, and it's certainly changed the complexion, and it's certainly changed the race for Laurent Vanthoor, because he's got a chance now to be a hero. I also think, knowing Earl as I do, Earl will spring right from the very get-go. He's got the defence of Estra behind him, who, let's face it, I think the hair, if that's what Porsche are about, is Bamba. And Estra and Bamba will try to hold off the Mercedes, while Bamba goes in search of trying to beat Laurent Vanthoor down to Lisboa. Tactically, how would you play it?
Well, it's a game of cat and mouse, and we know that really and truly there's only one overtaking opportunity on this circuit into Lisboa. It means that he has to be fast out the Melco hairpin. He has to get a good exit through Fisherman's and ultimately the final corner onto R-Bend. R-Bend, third gear corner, and it's all about exit. And I'm really hoping we see some on board just to see the difference in top speed between the two manufacturers.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Well, and also, if you're looking for a restart, look no further than Adley Fong, the Hong Kong driver in the Bentley. There he is in the all yellow and black Bentley. Just behind the Mercedes, and just behind him are the two BMWs of Nicky Katzberg and Fabian Pletz, and they are coming up as well, Alan.
Yep, they may well feature. Nicky Katzberg right at the end of qualifying yesterday had a super effort to finish up on the outside of row 4. 8th quickest for Nicky Katzberg. A very quick driver.
Are we going to get restarted this lap? I'm not sure we are, you know.
No. I think you're right.
Safety car is in this lap. Okay, well, they've done it, and they've done it quickly. Well, that just shows you how quick they are here at Macau. So, hang on to your hats, folks. We're going racing GT style. It's the World Cup. It's the ultimate circuit. And it's the one that all of them want to win. Defending champions are Mercedes. They didn't qualify as well as they'd liked, but they've managed to get one goal down against Audi because Audi have lost one car. But we are still yellow. Well, now I'm seeing yellow and green. We are green. Here we go. Green flags waving, so Laurent Vantor will lead them down the way. Bamber did not get the start I expected him to. They bounce over the curves into Mandarin. The Porsche looking really good and very wide indeed. Go both Astra. The Bentley got a good restart as well.
Bentley looks good, doesn't it?
Very good indeed, and he's right there with the Mercedes as we go into the all-important Lisboa corner. Everybody safely through from the top 3. Mercedes 4th, 5th, then the Bentley 6th. Then it's the two BMWs. Good clean start. Marchi Lee's got away well. Also, Darrell O'Young's behind him, so they're moving up the board, the two Hong Kong drivers, 12 and 13. Into hospital, up towards maternity. Which is the hardest corner on this track, Danny?
Oh, there's not just one. There's this whole section now into this Solitude S is left, right, medium speed, third gear corner, keep it tight, stay on the grip, quick change of direction, short shift 4th into the middle. There's a lot of camber here, so you have to use that, get in that, and you can see the Audi is slightly stronger. He's pulled probably 2 or 3 car lengths on us in the Porsche here, isn't he?
Yeah, no question about it. But a graphic illustration, you're listening to Danny Watts, who's done it, been there, got the T-shirt and won here at Macau, and knows exactly how this track goes from left to right. Blind corners everywhere you look. And now Laurent Vantor and the number 8, leading both the manufacturers. And they've changed the rules this year. And it's only the first manufacturer across the line that will become world champion. So it's all to play for. Just because Mortara may be out does not diminish Audi's chances of winning overall. And that means drivers and manufacturers. So it's all to play for. But this just the qualification race, and I say just, but of course they've got to do it all again here at Macau. So this is just the hors d'oeuvre for the main course.
Yeah, interesting to look at the sector times. That the Audi is about 1.3 seconds quicker than the two Mercedes in the middle sector.
Did you expect that?
Going on last year's form, you have to say Mercedes were the strongest, right?
Yeah, very true. Yeah, Porsche were not really at the races, as it were, last year. They've got a new car for this, and it's obviously a big improvement. No question about it. Here we go then, another lap completed. Best lap so far, 2:18.9. And here's another look at the start. You can see Bamber jostling for position. And I think, in my mind, yeah, just until we see that on board, we're not going to...
Yeah, we're getting nothing more, are we?
But it's still the story of the weekend, without a doubt. There goes Nico, later on. Spun round in the Audi, not a good start. Oh no! 2 cars involved in a big smash-up at R-Bend. And one of them's John Shen. He crashed out of last year's race, and he's happened again. And I think the other might be Philip Marr. And that's surely going to bring out the safety car, if not a potential red flag. But, well, we've had so many big offs there at our bend, and it's a very quick corner to have a smash. And it is Philippe Marr and John Shen. As predicted, Shen's got it going again. It doesn't look as though there's that much damage to John Shen's car, to be honest, the Canadian. I feel for them because they know that this is a mighty field to be part of, and while they do race and have raced in Asia a lot, and I'm not trying to, you know, I think John did that on his own because, well, from this angle we don't see Philippe's involvement, but they either touched or Shen went round on his own too hot, and then Philippe kind of took avoiding action, threw him into the wall. Now, Earl Bamber, fastest lap, 2:18.8. The man second at the moment, and we are back under safety in what has been a dramatic and classic start to Macau.
This is great news for Mortara because he didn't lose a lap whilst he was in the pits changing that rear wing, so he'll be able to join the back of the field and start his comeback.
Right, I'm going to put you on Mortara watch. And you keep us up to date on how he comes and sides his way through. And there's the eyes of Earl Bamber. You know this guy. How impressed are you? He's 26, he's living the dream. You know, he reminds me of a young you when you started out at, all those years ago, because he took his opportunities. He, like yourself, you know, was all about talent, not money.
Yeah, exactly, and he's worked hard at it, and winning Le Mans 24 Hours, probably top of his CV currently, but thoroughly deserves his drive at Porsche, and he's doing a great job for them in not only GTs but in the past in the LMP.
Yeah, and of course he's made his name with Porsche as a Carrera Cup Asia champion, then a Super Cup champion, and now he's looking full factory. So they still have not got Shen out of the way, and they're going to push him out of the way fairly soon. There is Mortara. Come on, Edo.
Still debris flapping around off that left rear corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see how quickly he can catch up. Let's just remind you of the order as they wheel and crane Mr. Shen out of the way. He's got the skull and crossbones on the car, but it's Laurent Vantour from Earl Bamber, Kevin Estre, the two Porsches chasing down the Audi, Maro Engelen, Renger van der Zande, the two, and Mortara's coming in the pits. Mortara coming in the pits again, so that's not good news. Adley Fong is in 6th place. Nicky Katzberg in the BMW is 7th. Then it's Fabian Plentz. Here is Mortara. Now, they're putting on 2 new tyres, but or 4 new tyres, but they look scrubbed. But
look at that for a dynamic, fast pit stop.
they're not touching the car, so this is just for tyres.
Very impressive.
So they just decided to do, smart move, they just decided to do literally an installation lap, check everything, all systems go, and under safety, they've got a chance of catching up again.
Now.
Absolutely, and probably using it as a little bit of a test ready for tomorrow's big one.
Interesting. Interesting. So, what can we do? I'll keep going down the list. Yoshimoto is in 9th position. Chen Kongfu is in 10th. And then Bortolotti is 11th. And then Marchi Lee, 12th. Daryl Young, 13th. Andre Couto in the first of the Lamborghinis. Sorry, the second of the Lamborghinis is in 14th position. And Mortara is currently adjudged to be 18th on track. So, drama indeed here in the qualification race. We welcome fans of motorsport around the world, wherever you're tuning in, to our very special FIA GT World Cup. We've also got an FIA World Cup for Formula 3 this year. It's finally got its World Cup status back. Had a couple of World Cup statuses during the 80s when it first began. And the GTs have been part of, or I should say, big sports cars as it was back then. We had Ferrari challenge races and all sorts of different permutations, but now it's officially a World Cup for GTs, and GT racing, GT3 racing goes from strength to strength the world over. And Danny, it came at just the right time for your career, didn't it?
It did, and we're going to get another lap behind the safety car, which is great news for Mortara, isn't it? But yeah, there's some cement dust down at that final corner. That will make it slippy mid to exit when you're getting the power down.
Danny, for a driver, when, for example, if you're Laurent Vantour leading the race, lap after lap behind the safety car, you've got to keep things up to temperature. How much temperature do they lose during these slower laps?
Yeah, it depends on so many different variables, the ambience and the track temperature, what type of tyre it is, the construction and compound. But to be honest,
they don't lose everything, do they?
No, and also you use the brakes quite hard in these cars with the ABS to keep to dissipate the heat from the brake disc into the wheel rim also. So actually they don't lose too much.
Not too much.
Plus he'll know that Audi like the back of his hand with all the experience of driving it at different circuits around the world. But really and truly he'll just be now focusing. Now they've cleaned the circuit up that you have to assume this lap the safety car are in. So he'll be just going through his own mind where he's going to drop the other cars and hopefully get a good restart.
On a scale of 1 to 10, though, how sure are you at the restart that all systems are go? In other words, that you've got it right in terms of keeping all those temperatures right. I mean, you've got dials, you've got talkback. What, how 100%, are you 100%, or are you? I think I got this.
Let's not forget, you've got the engineers in the pit lane that will be constantly talking to the driver. Well, actually, talking of which, around this particular circuit, I always tell my engineer not to talk to me after I get out of Sector 1 because it's so busy and you have to be so concentrated, you have to be accurate and precise with your driving.
There's so many peripheral things that a driver is having to take note of. I mean, there could be a tiny little bit of debris which wasn't there on the previous lap.
And it's amazing in a GT car how narrow this circuit feels when you're driving around, so being accurate and precise is absolutely critical.
To be fair, it feels pretty narrow on a motor scooter.
Just got a quick glimpse of poor old Laurent Vantour's girlfriend there, who looks so worried, and well she might. Her bow is out there and the pressure is on. And the safety car is coming in this lap, and we will be racing once again at Macau. Now, under investigation, cars number 68 and number 98. Those were the two involved, of course, in that incident. I don't think it'll lead to much, but and it won't have anything that will change the situation of this race. Vantour will control the race as soon as the Maserati's lights are off, and the Audi will try to hold off the Porsches. I wasn't that impressed with the restart by Bamber and Estra last time. I expected more because Bamber is a scintillating restarter. Usually, Maro Engel likewise will look to pounce as we go on board. The man in second place, Earl Bamber. And he has to wait, as they all do. And how hard is it from second place to judge when the other guy's about to go?
Well, he's literally gone now, hasn't he? Well, I'm just literally flat on the throttle and holding the brake, and as soon as he goes, I release the brake and attack. Well, look how close they are now.
Yeah, look at this. This is an almighty start. Estra's got the best of the starts, and he's all over Bamber as they go through now. Laurent Vantour leads this race. Dust flies up in the background. Everybody's through. And Bamber looking for a way past. They head down towards the Mandarin corner once again. Green flags wave here. It's the qualification race for the World Cup of GTs. Audi lead from Porsche, but Porsche want the lead, and Vantour's taken a very steady line through Mandarin just to defend, and that was scary for a moment there. Good start again from Bentley, but Laurent Vantour has done the business. Now he's got a brake. He squiggles under braking, but does it. Bamber doesn't get what he wants, but Vantour, very cool-headed there. That was very, very impressive by the Audi driver, who may not have had the limelight coming into this race, but he's got it now.
And one thing that's notable, how quickly the top three, so the Audi and the two Porsches, have been able to pull away from the Mercedes. Maro Engel and Renger van der Zande in 4th and 5th places respectively. Already there's daylight between them.
Yeah, they were squabbling amongst themselves into Lisboa, weren't they? I think Renger van der Zande had a slight look at Engel, but
that's cost them dearly.
Well, impressive restart, that's for sure. Back on board with Earl Bamber down the Palio Hill towards police. I always say, how hard is it to break through here uphill?
Well, you could see the Audi, the rear, moving around so much under braking, but it's so difficult through there because it's downhill, it's very bumpy, and the car always moves around. Coming up to, Going up through the gears, then up to Donna Maria, second gear. Lots of camber, lots of rubber into this corner. Have to keep tight.
It's a long corner as well, isn't it?
Seems to go on forever, but then we go into Macau, which is a constant yellow flag zone. You're not actually allowed to overtake into here because you haven't got enough steering up to actually get round. And look how hard Earl's working behind the wheel.
Quick look in the mirrors there for Earl Bamber as he goes in pursuit. Estra's right behind him. The Mercedes are coming, or at least they're trying to. Vantor, though, has done a brilliant second sector at 126.6, and that compares to a 127 by Bamber, and likewise Estra. So he's got himself a little bit of space when you see it yourself. That was a very good second sector by the Belgian. They come across the line again. Vantor will lead the way and lead the lap times at 2:18.9. Now, is anybody else on the move in terms of lap times? Katzberg having a great race, he's up to 7th. Field's starting to spread out now. Mortara is in 17th place. Here we go then. Vantor, the two Porsches, then come the Mercedes. First it's Engel, then Wenger, Van der Zande. Sadly, the Bentley's lost a little bit of time on that last lap. Then come Katzberg and Plentz. Yoshimoto's behind him, and Mirko Bortolotti rounds out the top 10 here at Macau.
Yeah, Nicky Katzberg in 7th place in the BMW, looking to close up on the back of the Bentley, isn't he, of Adley Fong in 6th place. So we'll keep an eye on that gap as well. Through goes the Bentley, through goes the BMW. So Nicky Katzberg, 7th place. Keep an eye on this gap between the two of them. It's down to less than 1 second at the end of lap number 9.
Back with Daryl O'Young in the VLT-sponsored all-yellow Porsche. I'm really impressed with how well BMW are doing, because it's the first time we've seen them in the Macau GT, and it's great to have them on board, and I think they're going to be here again, that's for sure. We've had another incident, or have we? When the camera goes like that, I'm always thinking something's gone wrong. Thankfully not. But into police they go. 10 of the 12 laps of this qualification race. Are we to have more drama? I can answer my own question, yes. If nothing else, I'm going to keep an eye on just where Mortaro.
Well, Vantor was 1 second faster than Bamber in that middle sector on this lap.
Amazing, he's really putting it to them, isn't he? And remember, Laurent Vantor has only been here once in 2014. He got a 4th place then, so this means so much to him because everybody else has had the glory. Didn't sound like he lifted through there, did it?
Well, 3rd gear through our bend normally, and yeah, half a second quicker than Earl Bamber in 2nd on that last lap. But the one to watch is Estra, because he was 2/10 quicker than Bamber. He's only 6/10 behind him on this lap, so see how close he is coming through Mandarin.
Oh, it's fantastic to be on board with Earl through there, that's for sure. That'll bring your breakfast back. Now the field's spreading out quite dramatically now here in the closing stages of this one. We've got a good battle between the BMWs. There's no real overtake opportunities looking up down the field as we look down towards Mandarin again, and we look high atop from Lisboa. Oh, I say that, Mortara's done exactly what I expected him to do, making up another place. Mortara up to 15th place, and he's now got Couto in his sights. Now, on any other given day, I would have said a battle between Mortara and Couto around Macau would have been a real matchup. But today, with how Mortara's going and with how Couto's going in that Lamborghini, I'd say Mortara will take him to the cleaners. So much to play for. If you've just joined us, where have you been? Let me catch you up. Right at the very start, we lost, sadly, the pole man. Eduardo Mortara, who crashed out spectacularly. Laurent Vantor, his teammate, now leads this race, but Edo is on a mission. And it seems that Eduardo's do pretty well here. The first race in 1954 was won by Eddie Calvaro, another Eduardo. But what can Mortara, Mr. Macau, do? We're going to wait to see where Mortara comes out. Here come the two Mercedes, they go through at Melco. There's the Bentley of Adley Fong. Then comes the BMW, another Audi behind him. There's Marchi Lee. There's the Lamborghini. And everybody shuttling through the Melco hairpin. And Mortara is currently in 15th position. His last lap, a 2:21.9.
Onto the final lap they go then. 11 laps in the book now. 12-lap race, this qualification race.
Yeah, and I don't think if these guys are smart, they're going to make any major maneuvers at the front anyway, because of course this is a qualification race. Although it looks as though Darrell Young's under big pressure right now. No question about it, and likewise Marchi Lee's weighing. And who would you think is making that pressure? Of course, it's Eduardo Mortara. He's all over him. Oh, and he almost went into the Mandarin car park then, because Mortara tried to make an attempt. Will he make it this time?
He's hit the wall. He's hit the wall. Look,
he has hit the wall.
Yeah, definitely. He's got left rear damage to that car.
Now he's got to milk it. He's got to take it home now because he's got damage. Yeah, he has. Now Mortara is in trouble, but he's going to try and nurse it home. He tried to get past Darrell Young, but Darrell, with all his years of experience, is not going to be an easy catch. Mortara still pushing him at hospital. Well, they'll both end up there if they're not careful. Oh, no! And just as I say it, he's turned him round, and I'm afraid Danny's shaking his head, and I'm doing the same, because I've seen some aggressive manoeuvres and while we're all big fans of Edo, that was not a very sensible manoeuvre.
It's not really a place you can overtake into there, because you're not taking off too much speed. And
Darrell was on his line. Now, Edo will argue that he's frustrated because he's quicker. I'll give him that. But like you say, there's just really no overtake there.
Well, we've got an incident involving Class 7 and 911 will be investigated after the race.
Not surprising. That is Mortara and the man he spun round.
But Earl Bamber is...
It's the start incident that they're
911,
involving. So that's identified.
Right, I'm sorry, I'm with you now. Okay.
Yeah, that it is Earl Bamber.
So we were right.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting indeed. The plot thickens here as Laurent Vantour will come out of the last corner. There's the checkered flag, and he wins the qualification race for Audi. Brilliant start for Audi, but they have two stories going on for Audi. One involves the winner, Laurent Vantour. The other, the favourite, Eduardo Mortara, who was spun round. And will the man in the Porsche, the man representing and leading Porsche at the moment, Earl Bamber, be blamed for taking Mortara out? We will yet find out. But right now, officially, both cars are under investigation. But Mortara, and maybe Mortara could be part of the blame too. We'll find out. But either way, it doesn't matter at this point, because Audi have drawn first blood as Laurent Vantour wins for the first time here at Macau. He's been fourth in 2014, but now wins the qualification race. Porsche are hot on his heels with Bamber and Estra in second and third. And Mauro Engel, the defending champion for Mercedes, is in fourth position, so they are far from out of it as well. Renger van der Zande is in fifth place behind him. Boys, what are your thoughts? It's under investigation. How would you call it?
There are so many answers that we need. And the main one, well, we've got the first part of the puzzle now, because we've been told that which car it is. Right, so there are two incidents being involved now for Eduardo Mortara. Not only, so we've got an update now, not only the first incident, and we've had it identified that it was Earl Bamber, but also the second incident that we saw at the end of the race. That was a busy race for Edo, wasn't it?
Yes, not even his good looks and charm are going to get him out of that one, I don't think. He's got some talking he's got some smooth talking to do.
He'll be in race control for a little while, I've got a feeling, because he's also being investigated for the situation with number 99 as well.
But let's talk to our learned friend who's been hacked up to these stewards now and again in the past. What are your thoughts?
Steady on, I haven't. I always behave myself on track. But
that's true.
I have to say, if I was in his shoes on the last lap, you've got to go for it, right?
Yeah,
let's face it.
Exactly.
He's got to make progress. He's got to start as high up as he can.
Yeah.
Which, in fact, he finished 13th. So that's really,
it's
really
pretty
good.
Yeah.
But well, whether he gets a penalty or not, we'll find out later. But ultimately, he had to go for it. I think the incident on the last lap, it was slightly half-hearted, and Darrell O'Young was always going to turn into that corner.
Yeah.
He's got every right to. What was Eduardo halfway alongside? Not sure. But,
well, and to be honest, again, we didn't see it, but I would argue that that Edo might feel aggrieved that at Mandarin, because when he was approaching Mandarin, it looked as though the overtake was on. And then the next time we saw the pair of them, Darrell was still where he was. So, yeah, we'll see. 6 of one, half a dozen the other. I love racing.
And there are so many bits of the puzzle that we don't yet know. There are bits of video that we've yet to see. So
it's the World Cup, folks, and it's only half-time. Get your orange, go back to the changing room. A new set of boots, and we'll come out and we'll have a new ball. My thanks to Danny Watts coming in here. He's going back to advise in Formula 3 and hopefully help the boys out over there. We'll see him later. But thank you, Danny. But Alan, well, we take a deep breath because that had everything, didn't it?
Okay, I'll tell you what it had. It had a plot that I hadn't even worked out.
And it thickened.
I just, who could have written the script for that race? And it includes other things like the Mercedes that we see coming into Parc Fermé now, and the fact that they were battling with each other for 4th and 5th place, but they weren't with the Porsches and they weren't with the Audis.
Here's my thought. The second incident involving Edo was clear-cut. The first, I still don't know who was to blame for that, and I don't know, I've got a feeling that what I actually think happened is that, as we look at Laurent Vantour, is that, congratulations to him. Here's what I think happened. I think Edo came across to the right, but Bamba was there, and I think that's what happened.
I wonder.
Might have been a bit of one and the other because Bamba was pushing hard.
I wonder where we're going to get the evidence from.
Yeah. Well, good sportsmanship from Bamba. Good race from Earl Bamba.
Yeah, it really was.
But like I said, under a cloud at the moment.
2 Porsches and an Audi in the top 3, and Laurent Vantour a winner here at Macau. Qualification race today and the World Cup tomorrow to look forward to.
Fascinating stuff. And Maro Engel has been somewhat reserved this weekend because I think Mercedes struggling a little bit to get that new car, remember, and that's another side of this. Audi certainly have to have the advantage. Porsche and Mercedes effectively trying their latest versions of the car, so not a lot of data to go with. And that said, they do know what they're doing around here.
They certainly do. We'll have a celebration very soon as drivers led up towards the steps at the rear of the podium. Laurent Vantour made the most of the qualification race. A winner here at Macau. 12 laps for the qualification race. A longer race to look forward to tomorrow for the World Cup. All of the officials and volunteers lining the way to the podium.
Here's the results then. Confirmation of the qualification race. Laurent Vantour of Belgium wins for Audi. Earl Bamba in 2nd place for New Zealand. Kevin Estre of Porsche is in 3rd place. The Frenchman Maro Engel, the last year's winner, is in 4th place ahead of Renger van der Zande, his teammate, in 5th. Adley Fong, impressively, in 6th position for the lone Bentley. Then BMW making their debut in 7th place with Nicky Katzberg, likewise making his debut. Fabian Plentz taking 8th position in the Audi R8 LMS in the number 28 car, but some 19 seconds adrift of your winner. That's the top 8, and well, drama throughout. We had crashes at the front, crashes at the back, and we lost a few on the way, so to speak, including John Shen and Philip Ma. Yoshimoto made the top 10 though, and Bertolotti likewise rounding out the top 10. Chen Kongfu 11th, Marchi Li 12th, Eduardo Mortara manages to get up to 13th place. Now, if there is no further action, Edo is still in contention, I can guarantee you. Andre Couto is 14th. Passan Latoris, who crashed out in practice, is in the top 15. Ricky Capo making his debut for BMW and himself in 16th position. And then 17th is Ko Sin and Philip Ma not finishing the race.
5 different makes in the top 8. There's only 7 different makes in total. That's pretty impressive stuff.
Here we go. Here is the Daryl O'Young Mortara incident. I'm sorry, but Daryl, there's nowhere else Daryl can be at that point. And sure, I can see what Edo was thinking, but mate, either way you look at it, let's say he got alongside him. He was going to push him wide anyway.